Ladies and gentlemen, Bala Lodhia, the continuation.
Hi again. I spoke to Andrew, and he's one of the things I mentioned to you about the manual for that I wrote for Narayani remedies. I'm going to show you what it looks like and how you can download it, or you can load it onto your computer and create that as a separate manual for yourself. They're going to put it on the Dropbox, that whole folder. You'll get the link, you can download it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to load it. It's a good thing this computer doesn't have it, so you can follow the process. The folder is called Narayani. This is the folder, and these are all the programs in the folder. It was written with the old database system, so we need to, first of all, click on that one. I'm going to try to see if I can load it. Hang on, let's do this. You can actually right-click. Hang on. Just if you do Control A, all of them get highlighted, and just okay. Now we're going to do this one. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files are the actual manual. So you right-click, copy, and I'm going to put it on the desktop. What you do, you create a new folder, and you can call that Narayani. Then you open the folder, right-click, and paste. So now it's on the computer there. So I'm going to test it to see if it opens, because I think we have this on Boland. So this is the icon. Beautiful, it works. So all the remedies have the matrix numbers here. So if you click on, say, 4021, which is Narayani 14 cramps, it gives you all the uses of it, how the mixture can be used for many conditions, the breakdown of all the remedies in there, and the potency, and it tells you how to use it. Normal cramps 3 times a day, less when improved. In acute, you can take 1 dose every 10 minutes until the condition is eased. So same way, you can scroll down to any matrix number remedy. So I was telling you about removal of entities, Narayani special number 1. What's in there is astral poisons, mental blockage, psychic poisons, mental poisons, banish, Christ consciousness, ingrown entities, psychic interference, self-destructive patterns, ingrown entities, exclude all entities. That's part of this remedy here. And divine protection, it's divine love, divine wisdom, spiritual resonance, exclude evil entities, divine strength, heart of love, golden light, ingrown entities. So in your practice, what I suggest you do is you can make this remedy up on the test plate. Make it up in a concentration of alcohol, and then that will be like your master tincture. Once you do it, I'm going to show you, when I go to the homeopathic screen, the processes involved. Another thing we have here is, if you want to look at the list alphabetically, you go to Narayani Alpha, open it, and you got the alphabetical list. Chemical poison, it'll give you the name of the remedy, the potency, and the matrix number. I also have for you, which is, no, you can't open that. That's the alphabetical list. So this little icon that's here, you could actually send it to the bottom. You can pin to taskbar, so it's at the bottom here. You just have to remember that the class program also has one of the icons that look like that. So while you're working with the program, you can click on that and you got your manual there. Did you get it? Good. My Narayani.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Do we have to? Does somebody want to volunteer to be hooked up so we can just run through quickly? Come on.
Here we go. Do I need to shake it up?
Everything's fine. Have a seat.
Tommy, right?
Yes.
Barton?
Yeah.
Oh, you've never been hooked up? Never. That's great. We have somebody that's never been hooked up. That's great. We could have some fun. Okay. Oh, it's still doesn't look that way. What we'll do is we'll ask him the questions, and you can fill it up here, and then I'll ask him some questions here.
I have my phone on me. Should I take it off?
Yeah, please.
Shall we skip SOC? Skip SOC.
What do you think?
We skip
No,
it.
I like to do SOC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go back.
Have you had any organs removed, like tonsils, adenoids, appendix? No? Okay, 0. Are you on any prescription medication? No. Do you smoke? No. Okay, that comes to the next one here. You don't use any medication at all, and no steroid drugs and things like that, okay. Do you have any dental fillings, like metal fillings? So you just have one left. Oh, okay, so then there's 0. Any street drugs have you ever done any street drugs in your life? Once. We'll give him 1. Any known allergies? Mm-hmm. No, it's like something that you eat something and you get a reaction, or you do some. No, okay then. Emotionally, mentally, is there any issues not resolved? Like what you have to, the way I tell my clients how to think about it is like, if something that keeps popping in your head a lot.
I'm concerned of my twin brother.
Okay, so we'll put 1 there.
Concerned, but I'm kind of letting him go.
Okay. So you are in basically total control of your body? Okay.
What do you give him? A 10?
I say give him a 10.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a Buddhist monk.
I probably would say I'm in complete control. I don't think anyone.
How much would you do?
Define that.
Well, there's a little thing here and there, right? Are you entering your body like a temple? Working. I give you 9.
Okay. Your diet, the fat content in your diet, is it like good fats, or do you eat any fast foods or junk food? Knowing her, no, right?
No, I don't think fast foods.
Okay.
Like last night, I don't know them probably be considered.
Okay, but normally, your normal lifestyle, you don't, right? We'll give him a 2. And your stress level from 0 to 10, 0 is no stress, 10 is maximum stress. What would you be? 4 to 5. Would you eat something sweet in the day, something that has white refined sugar?
I generally don't.
Don't? Okay. Do you exercise? Occasionally, so we'll give him. Any alcohol on a daily basis? No. Tea or coffee?
Tea and very little.
1 cup a day.
Not even that. Maybe.
Oh, 0. In the last 1 year, did you have any X-rays for dental X-rays, or any X-rays in the body, or any? Nothing. Okay, 0. And have you had any major injuries in your lifetime? Broken bones, concussions, nothing like that. Okay. Any major infections, pneumonia, bronchitis, hepatitis, mono, nothing like that? Okay. And how much water do you drink in the day? Couple of quarts, about 5-6 glasses. Okay. Would you say that do you feel overweight, or do you feel your weight is okay? Do you need, or you think you need to lose some weight? About how many pounds? Okay, that's about 2 kilos. Okay, I can. Oh, before you do that, I like to. One other thing that I like to do is, especially when we do somebody for the first time, and it's perfect because I like to go into add. Add report. Oh, they took it out. Where is it? Add information. Add more data to report. Now, this one here, I like to do this because we want to. You see, even though a lot of the test is done in an unconscious, subconscious level, but as much as information we can give it to it, so it has less to look for. It can find other things quicker. So we go through this chart and we say he hasn't had any organs removed. So what we do is we close that chart. The next one opens up. Your mother's family history, medical history. It's your mother. No, your mother's side. Okay, pancreatic cancer, you type in there. Any other disease on the mom's side of the family? Any other health conditions? So there's cancer in the family on the mother's side. Okay. And kidney issues? Double space, and you. Now, in your father's side of the family. Okay, so it's unknown. So right now, if anything, we don't know whether you. The next question is whether you inherited things from your mom and your father. So the way I ask that question is, do you feel that you're more like your mom, or you don't know your dad, so you don't know whether you're like your dad? So we check off from mom. Now allergies, no. Mental factors. The mental factors is you worry about your twin brother or your brother?
Yes.
Okay. And then the detail of trauma was ankle injury. Foot. Then once that is done, you click anywhere on the red screen and it disappears. Double click. It takes you to another. So you don't do any of those medications. Mood regulator is CBD. Okay, double click. What type of stress you have mostly? If you have any stress, where would your stress level come from? Job?
I would say job.
Job, okay. Then you double click on the thing again. Now, the type of area you're living in, does it have a lot of industrial toxins, a lot of chemicals, or you relatively?
Considering I was in the pool business with chlorine and chemicals, I would say
That you had exposure to that. Environmental, I would say heavy metals, industrial toxins. Okay, then you double click again. Now, if you had any health concerns, if anything did concern you about your health, what area of health would you be concerned about? Gut health. Okay, so that comes under dietary problems. Okay, and we can type in there. Yeah. Okay. So now this way we get a little bit of information from him. So that much less the system is going to look. It's not going to be going looking for that because we already know that much. So it starts to look for other things. So then we double click on the pink screen again, and we come back to there, and then we just type new patient report. You know how that's done. Your date of birth? 5/7. So July. May 7th. 1969. Where were you born? Oklahoma. Do you know your time of birth by any chance? A.M.? Texas, that one, yeah. Yeah, that's Oklahoma there. Texas here, and that's Oklahoma. Okay, so now we'll go to calibration. What do you think? Okay, we're going to take Alex's advice and we'll run the X test first and then do the calibration. I can tell you. Okay, so what? Yeah, digestion issues. Kidney, bladder, yeah. What type of bladder issues you've been having?
Just frequently having to go to the bathroom a lot. Like I'll take a drink of water and then,
Immediately
yeah.
go to the bathroom, yeah? Okay.
And then the feeling of when you go, just 5 minutes later you gotta go again.
Okay.
Across the, yeah.
See, the one of the things that with bladder issues, if we talk about the emotional connection with bladder, is your territory, and you're being pissed off a lot. Yeah. It's also like a territorial conflict, like someone's invading your space. Like a dog would want to mark the territory. It's just going to pee there, pee there, pee there. So somehow or the other, your individual, your sacred space is being invaded. So just think about that. Changes in your life. Of course, yeah, that would do it, yeah. Yes. Every first visit. First visit, yeah. That we just get into a bit more detail that way, and then the follow-up visits we just... it said add to report. Add data to report. Are you sensitive that you can feel energies and you can feel good? Like when you held that crystal in your hand, you felt it? Okay. This way, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're comfortable? Okay. Yeah. Some housekeeping here. I'll just write my information down here, so if you guys want to copy it down. Bellnet, correct. Oh, okay.
You wanna type it? Or type it in the webpage.
Oh, okay.
Your address or whatever.
Okay.
Then they can see it.
Bala Lodhia. Oh, it's. Yep.
That cost extra.
You said that cost extra.
5 gummy bears.
Lodhia. H. After D, there's an H. And below that, you can go Bala F. Okay.
Yeah, normally I've just been worked on from the subspace.
Okay.
That's why I haven't got that.
Okay, so it's gonna be interesting for you. Let's see. Do you feel something in the tummy right now? Close your eyes. Feel in the tummy.
Can you read all of that? Good. Now that website is tells you a lot more history about Narayani, and both my best friend and myself are on it. So when you open the website, you go under Bala Lodhia and you get more information on there.
So the X-test starts in September. It could be also that we feel somewhere where we didn't type in at all. That there you have energetic blockage because the energy.
What's your website, Alex? Your website?
www.welcome. 2L. Don't go to the webpage before the week after next week because we had some in Europe, the GDPR, and so we just put the lawyer stuff up till we get to it. Next week or the week after, it will be populated. Right now, it just says the legal stuff that's needed. Double L, please.
On welcome.
Double L. He needs it.
And your email? Welcome. Okay, so you have all the information.
Feel the colon right now? So the X-test does the dust bowl. Oh, okay. Now we go and find the root cause. That's how it works. It's much faster, right? And then if you have these appliances, you feel something. You're not under pressure cooker. You can really focus on finding before you.
So the test is done. We go, please load new info. Now what I generally do also while this is open, I go to disease dictionary and I open the disease dictionary and the icon is down at the bottom here, the little flask. And you can also open the iridology. Now the iridology, to close it, it won't close from there, so you have to go to the icon here and it'll minimize. So we've minimized the iridology and the disease dictionary. And then you could open the body viewer if you want as well.
Maybe you should actually from the...
Right. Okay, so now we're going to run test. Oh, the test is done. Test is done, yeah.
It's done.
Okay, so it says bioflavonoids in the top. See, what I quickly, to get a quick glance of what I do here is, we have the reds, the fuchsias, and the yellow. Items in red is the body is telling us that these are the primary concerns that you got to address. So we got to see, and I generally look at the top 5 here, then I scroll up and go up to the purples or the fuchsia, and I look at the top 5, 6 there, and then I take it further up. And I look at the top 5, 6 here. And my next step is I also look, I'll go to that a little later. The method I apply is I go back, I open the info file, and I will sort of just question Tommy here. Are you having any stomach pain right now? No? Okay. But stomach pain does show up here, and he does have digestion issues, so there it is, and hyperplasia, specialized, yeah. Prostate, yes, could be hyperplasia, prostate. Prostate comes up here. Normally do you eat high proteins in your diet? Are you, okay. And depression is coming up. Do you ever find yourself, I guess you sold your business and you shut one aspect of your life down, so there will be some about a depression in there.
I don't feel depressed, but I'm sure there's a lot of emotions going on. Yeah.
So what we can do is, as Alex said, we'll just do a quick individual reaction and see what else we can pick up on. The other thing, if you notice, his cellular vitality is at a 2. That means his vitality within the cell, the mitochondria and the ATP is low. Okay, so we got 81 resonance, 15 rectified. So this is a good indication. We go interpret results. It says use 3-minute zap. It's not even giving you a choice. It's just straight 3-minute zap. So we'll do a 3-minute zap just for this one, and then I'll quickly go through other things that we can. So in the meantime, we can go to disease dictionary, open the disease dictionary up, and go to dictionary. Okay. So we're gonna prostatitis. Where's BPH? Oh, BPH. Okay, BPH is benign prostate hyperplasia. So since he has the system is working on him on one level, we click on electroacupuncture and bioresonance, reveal the text. Now we're going to check his reactivity to that prostate hyperplasia. Then when you click anywhere outside, the disease dictionary minimizes. And you can also go into the iridology. Here we could do an auto search. That's what I normally do, just to see what the unconscious has picked. The unconscious has picked cerebellum. Have you been having any problems sleeping? Do you snore?
Yes.
So it's quite possible that you may even have some mild sleep apnea. No, the cerebellum is responsible for your breathing at night. The cerebrum is responsible for breathing during the day. So if people who have sleep apnea, this is a good area to treat. Now that's what we did on the auto search, and then if you have any particular area that we want to work on, we could actually... No, cerebellum is responsible for your breathing at night, and cerebrum is responsible for the breathing during the day. So this is the body rhythm. cerebellum. Cerebrum. cerebr. No, I'm just scrolling through something. I'm looking for more for prostate, male. Okay, we have to go to the male. Okay, so we can actually do some work on your prostate here. If they have a lot of breathing difficulty, cerebrum during the day and cerebellum at night, yes. Yeah, what you do, you go into the matrix, look for the cerebellum or cerebrum, get the matrix number, and then I'll show you when we do make a note of that on a piece of paper. So that's an added thing that you can add to the piggyback remedy. So here what we'll do is we'll just check off all the blue ones. So we just give him a little, and we activate piggyback, and then you double click where the prostate is. See this little red thing here? It moves over when you double click there. So now we minimize that one. Oh, we got an alarm signal on that depression one that we treated. But it did rectify at 103 though. Okay, so that's a little touchy area. So are you an Ayatollah? See, here's the little message came up. Use patient's superconscious panel. And you know how to get to that panel? So we close this one. Patient's superconsciousness is in here. There it is. What do you want to enter? Okay, so we're going to enter depression. Double space. P R O. Okay, and then we say start superconscious link. And we go back to the disease dictionary at the bottom here. See what the disease dictionary is telling us. This button opened up here. So what we're going to do is, no need to do that. One, and we test the bioresonance for benign prostate hyperplasia. So when you click outside again, that screen disappears. Now here's some hints that is giving us: hereditary, possible cause, pathogen or spiritual oppression, over intellectualization, exploration and changes of self. And then there's some remedies in here. Pathogens or spiritual oppression, that came up twice. Now what you could do, you would either hit a button. For a quick method, we just click treat all. Deficiency of the enzymes related fatty acids. Guna remedy. Guna remedies are in the matrix. All the guna remedies are homeopathic. Related to fatty acids, linked to brain. So let's do a quick treat all. when you're doing a search on the matrix, I'm going to type in all the lines that you can look for homeopathics. Guna, Narayani, Monastery of Herbs, and also Japan. If you type in Japan, these are homeopathic remedies that were created by Robert Davidson when he was in Japan, and it was added to the matrix. Pasco, these are all homeopathics. And even if you just type homeopathy, it'll come up. So if you want to check on any homeopathic remedies, this is where you check. You type that in the search box. So we got fear. Fear came up as one of the things that showed up here. And do you drink a lot of? Have you been drinking a lot of coffee in this week? Energy drinks. Does it have caffeine? Oh, okay. So that's why it's reacting to coffee, because that's caffeine. Okay. Have you been having issues with your eyes? Any itchiness, dryness, burning in your eyes? Okay. See, a remedy that came up for him is euphrasia, which is a very classical homeopathic remedy for eyes. Have you had any pains anywhere that's like needle-like pains? Like someone stabbed you with a needle? So gallic acid, which is like protein deposits, protein in your body. So maybe I would start off by alkalizing your body. So you could, I think you have, I don't know if, okay, make report. It can go into the report. So we close up here. And we go to the risk profile.
You know, I did that test yesterday. I was at 4,500
Uh-huh.
scale. So it wasn't too bad.
Not too bad, yeah?
45,000.
45,000, yeah.
45,000.
I thought you almost dead.
Okay, so the sensory is coming up as at high, then food poisoning, digestive, circulation. Now, even though you got your reds coming up here, but if you have a particular area that you want to check, you could highlight it and do a virtual doctor test. So in this case, his main concern was kidneys. So we'll click on kidney and go virtual doctor. Mm-hmm.
That comes the second time.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Now it says here, hint relative to kidney is 100%. So that just confirms that we have to pay attention to the kidney. Large joints, bark flower remedies, rescue for emergency stress remedy. Have you been clenching your teeth a lot? Okay. And then this, okay. Okay. Then gallic acid, it's needle-like pains, undiagnosed pain. Amethyst is one of the crystals that came up for him. Spiritual, yes. And then there's more hints here. Apis mellifica, cactus, Calcarea carbonicum. Most stressed organ is showing kidney, occipital lobe of the brain. Now, I generally put that in for my records. Now, we can go into homotoxicology. info click first, and it tells us here. Now, this is a good way to even see if people are telling you the truth in the sense of about sugar. They tell you they don't eat too much of sugar. In his case, he doesn't take too much of sugar because his right spin is lower than the left spin. People eat a lot of sugar, the right spin is higher. And it's telling us here a little more hints here, heavy metals and stress. And he did work in an area where he had exposure to. Now his business was a pool business, and I know from being a jeweler, we did refining. We used chlorine gas, chlorine to precipitate metals. So he's working in the pool industry with chlorine. He inhales chlorine at an ionic state. So any other things that he absorbs in his body, the chlorine would actually precipitate metals in his body. So in his case, what I would actually advise him to do is do the ion foot cleanses, the foot detoxes. That will be a good start. Good, do that. Another thing is cilantro. Lots of cilantro. Make cilantro pesto. My wife makes an amazing pesto with cilantro. It's cilantro. She adds some peanuts in it, and she puts in green chili peppers, some lemon juice, and purees it. And I put it on my sandwich, and I take it as a sandwich. Cilantro is one of the best herbs to chelate heavy metals from your body. The other thing that also very good is coriander. Coriander seed is a seed for cilantro. We had a case in South Africa where this lady went for an angiogram and she had 3 blockages in her arteries. And that was my friend's sister actually. And they wanted to do a bypass surgery on her, so we said, no, don't do that, let's wait 6 weeks. So we had to make a tea from coriander seed, 1 tablespoon of the coriander seed with 1 liter of water. You boil it for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, let it cool, you strain it, and then you drink that. And she did it every day for 6 weeks. So my friend sent her money back in South Africa to have another angiogram done. No blockages. So, one of the things that I do know that I'll draw it in big. If this is your arteries, eventually you got deposits of heavy metals or wherever. So what does the body do about heavy metals? It creates fungus or candida. You cannot clear candida if you don't clear heavy metals. If you do a strong candida diet without clearing the heavy metals, you could have a really bad reaction, especially with the kidneys. So the body puts fungus over the heavy metals. Now all of a sudden the body doesn't like the fungus, so it deposits cholesterol over it. So what happens here? You got narrowing of the arteries. So the coriander tea dissolves the heavy metals, the fungus disappears, and the cholesterol takes care of itself. And it opens up the blockages. If somebody has a lot of blockages, we have them drink at least a cup a day for about 6 weeks. You go to Whole Foods, or I like Trader Joe. Trader Joe is great. Okay, now we look at the homotoxicology. The primary ones are in red, secondary are in purple, and there's no blues here, so he's okay. So it says here, the deposition phase, accumulation of tissue, that was automatically. His unconscious chose that. So that means my initial suspicion on him was I put the whole picture together. He worked with chlorine. He works in an industrial area. You inhale stuff. A lot of the stuff we inhale is at a very like an ionic state. So with the chlorine inhaling, you have deposition, and then you have the needle-like pains, sharp pains. So the area that I told you to do the detoxes will work great for you. Now it says here nephrodermal, kidney, bladder, urinary tract. So since he did say that there's an issue with his kidney, bladder, so we click on bladder, then we continue, and if you want to get specific, you could type in prostate. And then we say continue. Okay, we're going back to the disease dictionary. Bingo. The therapy number changed to 33 minutes. So that shows, move this one over. Okay, so we move it over, so this little red button is beyond this blue thing here. So we check the music, long-term therapy, change this one to 1, and we say auto-treat. So if we click here, it minimizes. Okay, now here's how I've been. Everybody develops an own method of interpreting a lot of the results. I look at the highs and lows, and that's what Alex does, and Adam looks at the highs and lows as well. It says here, prostate, hypertrophy, kidney infection, kidney stone, toxic buildup from failure of detox systems. Stubborn and critical. Do you have any issue with constipation? Oh, the hotel wants to kick us out. Okay, we'll move on quickly here. So the highest number in this panel here is beauty shop toxins. Yeah, it's your hair gel. Yeah, yeah, and through the hair you absorb a lot. And then insecticides is the lowest number. So the highest number is environmental. That's the highest number here. Environmental as well. Wow. So and the lowest number is insecticides. So when I look at the lowest number being insecticides, quite often that would be an area that we need to detox, because that means in his body there's a lot of it there. And then the highest number in this column is stomach violation. That means he hasn't been eating very well this few days. And then the lowest number here is alcohol. Okay. And then in the nosodes, sugar, prions. Now prions, if you really look at the definition of prions, they talk about, the mad cow disease and things like that. But according to, if I remember what Desi said, the prion here is something that the liver has created, in the sense that when our liver is a chemical plant in the body, when there's stuff going into the body that the liver needs to digest, so the liver creates an enzyme to break that thing down. So now that enzyme is actually starting to be toxic to your body. So that's when the prion is showing up at 20 there. And then the high number there is food poisoning. Do you have a sensitive stomach as far as eating the wrong things and you get upset?
Well, it's just been getting on me because I used to eat a lot of hot stuff, like really hot.
Spicy?
Spicy, and I've had to kind of not eat hot stuff. So now that I eat it, it starts to
Body. So since we can sort of speed it up here a little, you could actually do a therapy on the prostate right here by clicking on it. If you click on it, it treats, or you can treat the top 5. So let's do the top 5 treatment. That doesn't take long. And after that treatment, you'll find more lines opened up, so it gives you more hints. So in the meantime, all you do is make your notes, a few more things that are showing up. Now, if you look already, prostate is showing 1 line, 2 line, twice, and kidney again. Blockage of acupuncture meridian flow, miscellaneous enzyme, poisons, blockage of oxygen and nutrition. Wait, this one. If you click on it now. No, but this is not done yet.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See, it comes down here again.
Twice. Yeah.
Could be the far right.
Okay, we got it rectified of 58.
3 times.
So now, 3 times prostate has showed up. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on that line just to treat that line individually.
What times?
4, yeah.
Oh, I thought
3 times. See, the subspace for sure works, but there are times when we do certain specific therapies, the harness increases the efficacy, especially when we want to do some detox. So this only gave me a 66 rectification, but you can click it again to get a higher rectification. So right now we just want to get out from here, and because we are pressed for time. When you close this, the detox panel automatically opens up and it tells us wheat, sensitivity to wheat, avoid and desensitize halogens, your chlorines. Combo remedy for chlorine, fluorine, halogen toxicity, sensitive to solvents. So your body has had enough exposure to chlorine. Yeah. Now, you could stimulate a detox here, but right now we won't do it because it may take a little extra time, but I just make a note of it for myself and keep it. So that's an extra hint for you. And again, prostate is mentioned up there. So we close here, there. We should also look at his blood. That's what he talked this morning about blood. So we're going to look at superconsciousness scan of blood, see what the unconscious is picking. Ascites, parasites in the blood. This is what the picture you showed. You can actually do a general rectification right here.
Is that pretty common that a lot of people have to say?
Oh yeah. It varies. It varies. Now the text for this information, like it says ascites, parasites, there's text in here, blood text. If you click on that, you can read on more information. Okay, it gives me an 83% rectified. I'm happy with that. So this screen here, you can do different blood treatments here. Then the blood text is in here. This you can read up on the information there. This is another one that's recommended action, the superconsciousness scan of blood. And then it says click on the item that highlights in red. In his case, something will highlight in red, and then you click on that and you read more information and then treat through here. So let's close out there. And close here. And also when we close out of here, return to main, we look at if there's any zaps. It says here, hyperreactant relief, the cavities, The X is on inflamed tissue. Kidney stones there. So he's quite likely prone to kidney stones. Do you take any calcium supplements? No? Oh. Lack of magnesium. Mm-hmm. Homeopathic? Okay, we'll take you to homeopathic.
Go away.
Go away.
You did.
Go away. Go away.
Okay. I'm gonna. Adam, do that walk again. That very slow walk, like with his feet here. Okay. Now here's Adam walking into emergency ward, walking like that. So, Alex and I are taking bets on what's wrong with him. I said he's got hemorrhoids, and Alex says he's got a slip disc. So then we ask Adam. We took a bet on you. I say hemorrhoids, and he said slip disc. So Adam tells me, hemorrhoids, you're wrong. He looks at Alex and says, slip disc, you're wrong. I thought I had gas. I was wrong.
Ow! Everyone loves to poke fun at Adam.
When you walked in like that, it reminded me.
What do you need? 5 more?
Okay.
This needs to finish?
Yeah. I'll just quickly show you questions.
Want to go eat dinner?
Yes. I haven't had lunch either. Okay, so
I'm not feeling the love right now. Just to be clear.
okay, so we're going to show you something very quickly here in the desktop. How do I get to desktop? Okay, the desktop is there. Okay, so I'll open the alphabetical. The reason I open this is to just get some numbers out of here. So I do know that we have a remedy that is kidney, one of the special remedies. Kidneys, kidney balance, kidney. There's this remedy called Narayani Special 29 Kidney. The matrix number is 8231. So I'll minimize that one, and we'll type in here 8239. And when you click on this, so it becomes, the default was 1. There has a default number. The moment you click on it, it becomes blank. And we're going to type in here 200x. And we test the reaction of the remedy to Tommy. It's 92%. Now, if you want to make up that remedy, do you have a bottle of water?
I have a question. When you're releasing like dark entities and stuff, what do the clients experience? Have they ever
No. Sometimes they just feel a real relief. They can breathe easier.
they never get sick, bad side effects?
No. So what we're doing is I'm putting the water on the test plate, and we say duplicate. So now that signal from the matrix of that remedy is being imprinted on the water. So this is where all of you can make your own remedies, and just basically we don't call them remedies, just say charged water. And when you give them to people, you don't charge them, so you're not a manufacturer of a remedy, so nobody can come after you. Yes. Yeah, what I do is if I'm giving them an alcohol solution, I use a 70% water and 30% alcohol, just to prevent the water the remedy from becoming moldy. So we put it I then take it and put it in a 30 ml bottle with a dropper, and I put it on there. So I hit it twice. I like to do it a third time, duplicate, so we get a good signal going into the water. And after that's done, you take the water out of here.
You have to activate it, so he said.
You activate it by pounding it vertically. Plastic is fine. Yeah. I use grain alcohol. It's fine. As vodka or rum, it works here. And sometimes if I want to make up for your practitioners, now you have that remedy and you want to make up a remedy and just keep a stock of it, then you take a 30 ml bottle of water, bottle of full alcohol. So it's all alcohol in it. And you program it in here, so you've made yourself what we call a tincture. So now if Tommy comes back, I'll tell him, I'll take from the tincture, I'll put 10 drops in a bottle of water, succuss it, and give it away. So you have your tincture and you can prepare remedies. Or sometimes, the little white sugar pellets. If you got a little vial of sugar pellets, you can put 1 drop of the alcohol in the sugar pellets and you do the same thing. And then the sugar pellets, you have them put it under the tongue twice a day. Now why sugar? Because sugar is the fastest carrier of a signal into the body. The sugar is only the carrier. The frequency is imprinted on the sugar. Then I use glycerin, vegetable glycerin. 3 parts of water with 1 part of glycerin. There's a company out of Utah that made a very nice base liquid that we could imprint. What they did is they used vegetable glycerin, water, and they put a very, very minutest amount of trace minerals in there. And it was very good for imprinting remedies. So this way you can make just about any remedy that's on the matrix. Yeah. Now, if we have HCG on the matrix, we can do it. Yes. I found this lasts about 28 days. And the same thing like the crystal that some of you have got from me. The original imprinting of the information I put in there, that stays forever. But you can put that crystal on the test plate and add on a few more frequencies, whatever you want. And those frequencies will last about 28 days. But the original ones that I put in there will stay. So, any questions on the homeopathic screen? Somebody asked me if they have some herbs. Like some of the herbs, you can't buy them anymore, but you may have a little sample of a herb. And you want to preserve that herb. So you place the herb on the test plate. And you say, take energy from Trey. So what we're doing is we're taking the information of that herb and it gets loaded into, it says energy from test tray loaded. And then you click on that and that goes away. And now you want to take that remedy. There's 2 ways of taking that remedy. You have a choice of activate tray output, we're going to activate all. Amplify pattern, that means you can make that pattern a little stronger. So that's a default, it says amplify pattern. So now you take another bottle of alcohol or whatever you want and duplicate it. So what you've taken is from the information from the herb, which is basically that's the healing part of the herb. You're taking that information, you're amplifying it, you're putting it in the liquid. You do that 3 times, you got your tincture of the herb. Now the old method of people did the herb was you get the herb, put it in brandy, leave it for about 15-20 days in the sun, morning sun, and that's how mother tinctures are created. But this is a quick way of doing it. Now, there's a button in there that says invert pattern. The second line, over there, it says invert. When do you use invert pattern? Yep, you could do that, yes. And yeah, and sometimes you have some people for no reason, they have some kind of a nasal excretion, and no matter what they do, the nose just keeps running. So you take a sample of the nose excretion, put it in a little glass vial. You take the energy from the test tray, then you click invert pattern. So what you're doing is you're creating a homeopathic from his secretion, and you give them that as a remedy. I put it on the tray, and we say take energy from tray. Once you take the energy from the tray, you take that substance away. Then you click on invert pattern, and you click on duplicate. So you're making an inversion of that. Yes, put a tincture of alcohol or something. Now, this is something. Would there? Yes. You mean to invert them? Oh, okay. I think what you want to do is, I don't think you'll be able to do it on a test patient. You want a live patient who has issues that we want to, yeah. One more thing I'm going to show you is, okay, any questions on the screen? Which button is that? I think Andrew had it. I think Veronica had it. See the top right corner, it says take energy from tray. It's in the yellow here. Okay. So any questions on this homeopathic panel? You can duplicate it the same way. Exactly. Take the energy, yeah. Test it. So, no, I haven't done it as a written protocol. It's just, it's something I teach, and it's, I got so much on my plate. I will get to it. I've been asked to do that, and I have a group of people in Toronto that work with me, and we haven't had a group meeting in almost a year and a half, and it's just been so many other commitments, but it'll happen. And if I do a webinar, I'll put it on the Mandelay website, and people can join in for sure. Yeah. How do you feel right now?
Sitting. Actually, all day I've been having issues with my stomach, gas issues and stuff for like a week. Right now, it's like it completely went away. So I have definitely been having issues with that. I know it's because of my diet and enzymes. Obviously, from the one speaker, it was, that was an eye opener. But right now, I feel fantastic. I feel really good. My kidneys, yeah.
One thing that I also like, after I do a patient, I like, because, we've sent in a lot of information to his body. So now, one of the things in his body is, we want to have the body now. We go to NLP, the screen here. This button that says disrupt hypothalamus and gallbladder connection. After doing all that therapy, I like clicking on that, because now we want to tell the pineal and the hypothalamus which is the thermostat in the body, to allow these frequencies to accept it, don't shut it down, to accept the treatment. So I click on that to get a rectified number. And then one more thing I'll show you on the biofeedback screen, that you do a lot of subspace work, it's a nice feature. Alex's X test works excellent. It's the best thing I've seen so far. The biofeedback does a similar thing, but when you're running the biofeedback, you can't do anything else. The beauty of the X test is it can be working in the background. It can be running all the time, and you can do other things.
Have you guys thought of doing like a monthly seminar online or something? Or in your spare time?
I got 4 daughters and a wife. And I tell you something, they didn't give me the gray hair. My one daughter is married, and whenever they're home, I want to spend as much time with them. I would not give that up for anything in the world.
Bala and I operate on the following principle: the day has 24 hours. You can sleep in the night.
Okay, we got a rectified number of 117, so now that means I'm happy with that his body is going to... So you can unstrap, and then I'll just show the group one more feature here before we get kicked out of here. The biofeedback relaxation system, we click on here. Is everybody with me there so far? Okay. Okay. This screen, I view whenever I want to do a therapy on somebody and leave the computer running all night. I've had this thing running sometimes 2-3 days. But to have it run 2-3 days, you got to make sure that your screen settings in the screen, that it never shuts down. You've got to make sure all that's there so that it keeps on running. So what we do is we click on miscellaneous, and you go to add piggyback therapies. Now there's things that are selected for him already, but what I like, we're talking generally any other patient, okay? So we go reset. I've got that cleaned up. Now in the first line that says miscellaneous, I click on there and I go back and I type in, say, the Narayani safety 75. Whatever numbers from the matrix you type in there, double space. You type in the remedies that you came up with all your notes. And in the nutrition line, I delete that line and I type in a prayer.
While I'm feeling my hemorrhoids.
So in that second line there, I type in a prayer. And then on the top line, I delete that line and you type in a message. And I'll tell you what happened was my daughter's father-in-law in England, he was needing a heart, and a heart came available, and they're doing a heart transplant on him. So I did a treatment on him, and I left it on Subspace. I typed in all the remedies around heart and injury and healing, and put a prayer in the other line, typed in the prayer. In the top line, you type in, allow the body to accept the new heart and avoid any rejection. So you put that message on there. Then you say load, piggyback loaded. Then I pulled down the menu here, it said wound repair. I left it on wound repair, and the doctors were surprised that in 6 hours his new heart was beating on its own. In 24 hours he was sitting up on the bed. In 48 hours he was sitting on a chair playing with his iPad. So this biofeedback is amazing. You could leave it on therapy for anybody that's even distance therapy that you do. This screen can be used very well. But, yeah.
Especially the subconscious negativity release before you go busy for Mother for the holidays.
Yes.
Does that release yours or hers?
I like to work on both.
Because Jewish mothers and Indian mothers, they kvetch.
Fetch, Oigavalt. Ladies and gentlemen, Bala. Okay, I am going to tell you what to do tonight. Regardless of your feedback, be good little boys and girls. Stay away from the big bad strip. Try to get to bed early tonight. Tomorrow's going to be an intense day. If you've never had we start at 9. If you've never had the experience of Deb Drake before, it is brain overload. Gail is going to warm your heart with her work in the morning. Deb is going to fry your brain. And because your brains are going to be fried, it's actually a perfect setup for my lecture too. So amidst that, you'll understand more tomorrow.